What's good, guys? How we doing? Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be showing you how to use your controller to play Escape from Tarkov. I've recently transitioned from console gaming onto PC gaming, but sometimes the mouse and keyboard can just be a little bit overwhelming and it causes me to freeze, especially during PvP and Tarkov. So today I'm going to simply show you how to map up your controller to Escape from Tarkov, and hopefully you guys can get a little bit of a better experience if you're having difficulty with mouse and keyboard. Now be warned, you will still be at a disadvantage against mouse and keyboard players, but this may be a little bit more beneficial for you, because it's a generic map out, and I will show you guys how I've done it, and I'll tell you the buttons that are used, and I'll put it in the description below. I do stream on Twitch, ladies and gents, full time, Monday to Friday, 2 PM GMT, which is 9 AM Eastern. The link is right here, check it out. And without further ado, let's get to it. So guys, what we're going to do right now is we're going to open up Steam. That is the first thing you're going to want to do, is open up Steam, because this is how you sync up your Tarkov to the Steam library, where you're able to configure the controller. What we want to do next is add Escape from Tarkov to your library. So what you want to do is go to Games, click on it, and at the very bottom here it will say Add non-Steam games to my library. You want to click on this. A big list of your programs will come up, and you add in Battle State games. Now it's not here because I've already done it, but Battle State games will come up in here. You click on that and then click add selected programs, which will highlight here. Once that's done, guys, that was you. The Tarkov is added to your library. You want to go into the next stage, which is up at the top right hand side here, next to the minimize button. It says big picture mode, so you want to click on that. Take you into this menu. So from here, folks, you want to click on the library, right? This will now display the games that you have. You can see that I've got Alan Wake, PUBG, and Tarkov is here. Even though it's not a Steam game, it is added to the library as a non-Steam game, so it's still available for you to click on it in big picture mode, which takes us here. And then go to Manage Shortcuts. That's the place where you want to go and configure your controller. So folks, we have now added in our controller. Make sure to plug your controller in at this point so that you can then configure the buttons and then click on Manage Shortcuts. So we've added our controller to the PC, we've plugged it in, and then controller configuration. Now make sure that you're assigning this to the correct controller, because you may have plugged in a previous controller to the same PC, maybe 2 years ago. This will still have it. So make sure you go to switch controller and that you have your current controller. So you can see here the 360, that's not the controller I'm using. I'm using the Xbox One, the Scuff Prestige. So you want to go to click Xbox One, and then you can see it's changed over. So you have to remember the buttons for Tarkov, the ones that are mostly common as well. So there is some things that you will not be able to do in Tarkov that will still require you to use mouse and keyboard. But for the 90% of combat you can do with your controller, which is a good thing. There are some buttons that will require the extra paddles, so we will do another video using a different mapping program, and that will be uploaded soon also, so I can help you guys out that way if you do have paddles and want to utilize them the most. So I'm going to close my camera off right now, folks, so you can see firsthand everything that is mapped here. You can take a screenshot, but I will show you how to do this too. So guys, looking over at the right hand side, you can see the Y button has 4 different commands in it. It's got 4 different buttons mapped to the Y button. This is how we cycle through our weapons, because on PUBG it's 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 and V, I think it is. So we're going to go over here and we're going to figure this out. We're going to show you guys how we do this. This cycles between weapons in game the same way it does on PUBG or Call of Duty, etc. So you want to go in, and this is going to be multiple buttons on it, right? So you've got the regular press. If you want to add in a new press, guys, you will see Add Activator at the right hand side. So on the regular press, it will be binding 2 and 3. So you click on that and then toggle multi-action. This allows you to use 2 and 3 at the same time. So that's what you want to do. So for the normal press, you want to toggle multi-action on, or then if you turn it off, it won't work. So if you keep it, the multi button on, it will give you the options to select 2 and 3. And then that is for the regular press. For the long press, you're going to want to hold in, that will be for V, which will be switching to your melee weapon, I think it is. And that will be for the long press, but then a double press with the Y button will bring out your pistol, which is the number 1. So you want to click on there, assign it to the number 1, and that's how it's done. So guys, we're going to go into the next button here, which is the B button. So this most commonly in games is for crouching, you know, crouching or going prone. So the regular press here, and then the key binding is C, because on Tarkov and mouse and keyboard it is C to crouch, and then long press would be to go prone. So you want the long press, and then the prone button on Tarkov is X. So that's how it works. I will show you guys this in a second too. Do not worry about it. And if there's anything else you want to add in, you know, this is entirely up to you, ladies and gents. This is entirely up to you what feels comfortable. I'm just merely showing you how I use things. There are some things that require mouse and keyboard, but all in all, this is for mostly combat. You know, some of the looting system will be easily manageable using the controller, but some things will not be able to do. So next, guys, we're going to go on to A. A is the jump button, so we'll rock the spacebar with that. That's all that I use A for right now. So guys, now we've got the X button here, which is the long press, which would be F. That would be to interact with things, guys. So the long press would be interact with things. The regular press would be reload. If you want to reload, you would just press R, or double press would be R2, also R, so you can get the fast reload initiated. So just bear in mind, folks, this is a tutorial to show you how to do it. It is entirely up to you what your preferences are. You know, I'm just showing you what I use and what I find really manageable during combat. Like I said, there is a lot of features that you will not be able to do with a controller, but about 90% of combat you can do, and it can be very effective. You know, you have to practice it a lot because you're still going to be playing against PC players, and the mouse and keyboard will naturally have an advantage over you, especially if you come up against experienced players. So bear that in mind. This is to show you how to map it. It's entirely up to you what you want to do. So let's get back to it. So guys, we're going to click in the D-pad right now for the controller, and we're going to select this as directional pads, naturally what you would go for. So I use the up and the down button for the F and the backspace. This way I can access loot, and then I can delete it and remove it from inventory as well. The only issue that I have right now is, and I've still to figure it out, you know, I've still to find a way that naturally feels to me, is the scroll button. So I've still to figure out with speeds and things like that, so we can make that something we learn down the line as well. Naturally, I think that would be more beneficial with a controller that has paddles. Like I said, on Steam, this is a basic tutorial, and a basic there's only basic options available to you, like your stock controller buttons. But if you have paddles like a Scuff, Razor, or Elite controllers, then I will be doing another video showing you guys how to assign paddles, set, etc., which means that you can control your walking speed, etc., like things like that. So I use the D-pads here, ladies and gents, to do the F and the backspace, and then the O is for your time and extractions in the game, and then B would be to select your firing, your fire mode, so single or burst or full auto, and that's the most natural way I would play a game, because I'm used to playing PUBG, and that's the buttons that it is. It's very simple, this one here, and you can also mess around with these settings too. And we're on to the left one, which is your movement. So you've already got the right analog stick sorted, which is your looking. This is your moving, where your character moves, and this is actually a directional pad also. So the same as this is what this one is a directional pad, and you just assign that to WASD in a little bit of an overlap region, so you can go at a diagonal. So that's simple. That's very simple as hell, guys. So guys, we're going to take it here to the left trigger button, which is the right mouse, which means aiming down the sight. So you've got full pull or soft pull action. I'll just go with soft pull, and there's more options for me to add stuff in here, like if I want to do walking speed, etc. But we can figure that out myself for my preference. But this is what you want to do to aim down the sight. So that would be your right mouse. So you would click on it, and then you would click over here for your right mouse. It's absolutely fantastic. They get the options available to you here, and that's for the aiming down the sights button. So for the trigger to make you shoot your weapon, it is the left mouse on the keyboard, but it's the right trigger on controller, which is this one. And then, you know, full pull, soft pull, you can do all this stuff here as well, and you can set sensitivities all here, guys. So that's what that is. And then the bumper buttons, I use these for the control and the alt button. So on PUBG, your left bumper on console is to hold your breath to steady your shot, and that's left alt. So this is also the alt trigger that, you know, checks ammo, you know, weapon check and all that stuff, and along with control. So it's beneficial to have these, because you can, not only that, you can loot quicker. So whenever you're looting and to throw things either onto your person or into your inventory, you press either your left bumper or your right bumper and then your trigger, and that's how we do it. And if you're looting also in the loot menu, and you hold in your left alt and then you hold in R, you hold in X, which is R, that will rotate your item in the loot, so your loot menu is still manageable with controller. Like I said, this covers about 85 to 90% of the things you can do that you're required to do quickly, you know. So there are like things like leaning and all that stuff and sliding out, then that's just a different one. You know, it's entirely up to you what buttons you use to do it. But all in all, the link to my channel is in the description. You can come by, check out the content with controller on Tarkov and run some games. You're more than welcome to. I stream Monday to Friday, guys. So guys, this may take a little bit of time going back and forth between Tarkov and the controller mapping, but then once you're done, you have to save your progress here. You have to save your preference, what you've made here. So you would click on export and then save it right here, and then that would be you. So the next thing you have to do, guys, you would click on done, and you have, in order for this to work, you have to load up Escape from Tarkov through Steam so that it can configure the controller buttons. If you load it up separately and then load up Steam separately, it won't work. It won't work. It has to configure this. So you have to go into, you know, the same way you did before, games, library, and then go to play. Click on this, go to play. The launcher will come up. You'll see down here that your settings are working. So you can see over there that your configuration will be activated because you opened it up through Steam. Configuration loaded, and let's load it up. So we're loading up Escape from Tarkov, guys. You can see that I am able to use my analog stick and rotate the mouse and the cursor. The sensitivity settings are entirely up to you. You have to bear in mind that these are just triggers. The buttons are just triggers that will trigger off the sensitivity. Like the sensitivity that you have can be altered either on Steam or it can be altered in the game. But bear in mind, if you change your sensitivity settings in the game, when you go back to mouse and keyboard, if you want to try that again and learn, it will be completely alien to you because you've altered, you know, the settings in game. So it's up to you to have a mess around with the settings either here or in the Steam one, in the Steam settings. So if you want to mouse around, you know, when I loaded this up, guys, my aiming down the sight speed was exactly the same as my general mouse sensitivity. So I had to lower this so that I can still ADS and try and get a shot off, but I'm able to turn if people are shooting me in the back. So you turn that, you want to get that up and then turn that down, and then it will feel a little bit more natural. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an offline raid so I can show you the progress. Right, so here we are, guys. We've loaded up a game. I've got my camera below here. You can see it, wave it around, sorted. And there we are, just going to play in controller now. So here, naturally, you know, you can switch up like that. You can still do a lot of things here. Right, so for instance, guys, right, we've just been shot, right? We've just been shot. So pause, it takes you into your mute menu. That would be the tab button. You would assign the pause button as your tab button. And then the buttons are backwards here to inspect, you know, so your left trigger would be here, and then your right trigger would be the button to use it. That allows us to heal up. And I'll show you guys the management here. You know, you can hold in your trigger, that's your select. You can drag it around, and then you can press X to rotate. So you can still do a lot of loot management with a controller also. The only issue is if you want to scroll, you have to click here. You need to click in these parts here. Unless you find a way to scroll with the keyboard if you want to assign that button. So, we're in customs right now, guys. We've absolutely just bodied a dude right there on controller. We'll hold in B. We'll hold in B right now, and we'll go prone. Loot, which is up in the D-pad, right? That's your interact button, guys. And then your trigger is your select. So you have to hold on your trigger to move, X to rotate. Because it's your reload button, it's mapped to R, which is the reload, but it also works in the looting menu as well. So if I want to quickly do that, remember what I said earlier on, you can use your modifiers, which would be your left bumper and your right bumper for alt and control. So that is the alt. I'm already wearing a helmet, so it would be this one. Takes you straight in, so you can still manage loot. The only issue is, guys, like I said, is the scrolling button on the mouse. We've not mapped that to anything yet. We will figure that out. and as soon as I do, I'll let you guys know in the comments. And then search, you can just press up on the, sorry, you just press the trigger. So to search, guys, you just press the right trigger onto it too. Right, so I've no ammo. We switch up. So that was natural, a little bit more natural for me. On PC, countless times I've tried to reload and rotate at the same time, and my hands just didn't work. But with controller, it was a little bit more of a natural thing. Oh. So that takes me back to sensitivity settings. You can see I kind of overshot my aim a little bit, but he's still dead. We still got there comfortably, naturally. Didn't take us a lot of time to get the job done. And so it's entirely up to yourself, guys. It's entirely up to yourself how you think you're going to be able to play. And I hope it works for you, man. I really hope it works for you. So that's it there, guys. You know, a little bit of a demonstration. If you have any questions, please post them on the comments below. Come by the Twitch channel. Link is right here. Definitely come by. I'd love to get some games in with you, hear your opinions. If you have any more questions, let me know. And all in all, guys, thank you very much. If you liked the video, thumbs up, and make sure that you subscribe to the channel for future content. Thank you very much.